Welcome back. This is Steph from Cold Blooded Freaks, and in today's episode, we are doing another egg cutting video. If you have not seen any of our egg cutting videos in the past, this is where you get to see the hatchlings as we cut the eggs for the first time to see what we think genetically is in there, and then you get to see the babies after their first shed. And for this clutch, we had quite the interesting baby pop out. And this is a good example. This egg cutting video is a good example of some things that can possibly go wrong, and that not everything is always as smooth as we would like it to be when it comes to hatchlings and babies. But without further ado, let's get to this clutch. First ever, hopefully, dreamsicle babies. I was so nervous. I haven't candled any of these. I have no idea. I don't know if anything's pink inside. I haven't looked, and I'm so nervous. The pairing for this clutch was a lavender 100% het pied to a leopard enchy yellow belly pied het lavender albino. Looking leopard for sure. Maybe leopard enchy, but 100% het pied, 100% het lavender albino. Baby number 2. There's only 5 eggs in this clutch, so I'm hoping for at least one. Oops. But I guess we will see. Oops, got the vein on that. Okay, I already saw some white. Here, so definitely pied. What kind of pied are you? You look pretty high white. So we're looking at this guy or girl as close as possible. If you look there, you can see this baby has no eyes. So that's very sad. This poor little hatchling has no eyes. It is a pied of some sort. It looks healthy otherwise, but it does have a birth defect of no eyes. So that is sad. Moving on to number 3 here. That's sad. That makes me sad for that baby. Let's see. Look here for the next one. I see white. Lots and lots of white in here. Okay, so this is definitely a dreamsicle. What kind? I do not know yet. Based on the pattern, it actually looks like it could be an enchy leopard lavender albino pied. So that's super exciting. This is exactly what I wanted to produce. I can't wait to see this baby come out because I don't know the ratio to pattern to white, but very, very exciting. Very healthy little baby. This one has nice healthy eyes. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to actually see what this little guy or girl looks like. I can't see much pattern. It's looking very white in there, but the face obviously has pattern. The tail tip definitely has pattern. So I'm hoping there's a little bit more pattern going on in this baby, but so far we hit one. So far. Well, that's great news. I feel like I have a lot of excitement for this last baby that we just cut, but I also am still worried about the baby that has no eyes. So it is a little bittersweet so far in this clutch. Moving on to our second to last egg here. So hopefully some more sweet news instead of bad news. Okay. Ooh, please. Ooh, very pretty pied so far, from what I can see. Ooh, look at that coloration. That is pretty wild looking in there. I would definitely say that's yellow belly showing its stuff in pied. Definitely leopard, probably possibly even Enchi, but very cool looking pattern. And the fact that it looks like it's high pattern also makes me think Enchi as well. Very pretty looking pied. Hopefully this one has its eyes. we're gonna hope that this one also has eyes. Moving on to the last but not least. All right, last egg. Drum roll, everybody, because this has been many years in the making and a dream to be able to produce just this baby alone here. So it would be even more awesome if there's one more. But if not, I am happy with just making one healthy baby. So this looks like a lavender albino. I don't see anything that's making me think it's a pied. I'm going to say that this is a lavender albino. Enchi. Don't think it's a pied though, but a lavender albino nonetheless. That is 100% pied. If it is not pied, it does not look pied to me. But still pretty interesting odds in this group. Hitting one dreamsicle, one lavender albino, two pieds, and then this cool looking leopard friend in here. Funky pattern for sure. But hopefully this little one's otherwise okay. I've never produced a baby with no eyes. That's a first. But this one's definitely the star of this clutch. Big, healthy, thick baby too. Big head. Nice healthy veins in there. Very excited to see this one come out and start coloring up. It's crazy how much lavender albino babies change. If you guys saw our last lavender albino clutch, they change so much once they come out of the egg. It's impressive. And I'm just so excited. Made one. And we'll see what the rest look like when they come on out. The first baby that we're showing is actually the first baby that we cut in our egg cutting part of this video. And this is the leopard. This guy or girl has not shed for us yet. Did not want to come out of the egg. Has just been in our incubator while the siblings already have shed and already had their first meal. So this one's just late to the game, I guess. But you can see the beautiful leopard patterning, and you can see beautiful railroad tracking for that het pied. But definitely no yellow belly in here, and definitely no Enchi. But a very cool looking leopard. I love leopards, and just their simplicity of the gene itself gives you some really cool alterations to the pattern, which I find really unique. And they're all kind of different. So I really like this little girl or guy here. I will sex it and find out. This is indeed a female. So this is a leopard 100% het lavender albino het pied. So hopefully she sheds out soon and we could get her first meal going for her. Moving on to one of the other hatchlings in this clutch. And this guy or gal is very pretty to me. I love the patterning. This is what I believe to be just a yellow belly pied. The reasoning is because of the patterning that we have here, and the head stamp doesn't look like there's Enchi, and it doesn't look like there's leopard to me inside this baby. And when you look for yellow belly and pieds, you tend to get these pixelations that kind of run across the belly, if you will. And it's not so smooth of a outline of those saddles. It has more of a jagged or almost drippy look to it. And this animal has exactly that. And those bright oranges on the sides and just a funky, semi chunky patterning, if you will. I would say this is most likely a yellow belly pied. I don't think it's Enchi. Definitely don't think it's leopard. But very beautiful guy or gal here. I'm going to sex it in just a second here. But I love the ratio of color to or patterning to the white because I feel like that's very important in pies. A lot of people don't like a very, very white pied. And I feel like you get to really see the genetics that are going on in a pied that has more saddles. And this is a very pretty looking little snake. This one has already eaten for us once already. So let's see what it is. So this one is a male. So he is a very handsome little dude, but he will be available up on MorphMarket. And again, he is 100% het lavender albino. Moving on to our third hatchling here, and this one is the lavender albino, 100% het pied. Now, this one genetically was a little bit more tricky for me. As it had its first shed, I really got to see some of the colorations that were in this baby, and it made me lean towards definitely yellow belly, possible leopard. It's really hard for me to definitely ID this baby at this point in its development, but I think after a few more sheds, I might be able to ID it a little bit better. But I definitely see those yellow belly markers on the sides there. You have that beautiful blushing coming up, and that you can kind of see those like checker-like patternings on the belly a little bit. But again, with lavender albino, it is quite tricky because when they're in the egg, they kind of just look pink and yellow. And then they have their first shed and everything starts really amping up and looking really, really neat. And then I got more confused with this one because if you look closely at this animal, you could see these orange pops of color that kind of spot in between white colorations. There are also spots that kind of look leopardy. I'm going to say 100% yellow belly, lavender albino, het pied. Possible leopard, maybe? I want to know what you guys think in the comments about this one because this one was a little bit tricky for me. I definitely don't think there's Enchi. I would say that's a definite no. But just a funky looking baby. And it doesn't quite look like our other leopard lavender albino babies that we produced in another clutch. So just a little bit funky looking baby. I really like this little splash of a ringer on the tail and just that beautiful coloration at that tail. It kind of reminds me of the starburst kind of coloration. Very cool looking for sure. Let's see what sex this baby is too. This is indeed another male. Moving on to our second pied in this clutch. This one was, again, a little bit tricky for me. It is obviously a dreamsicle, but I was struggling with the genetics on it a little bit. I would say there's no yellow belly in this baby. I would also say there's no leopard. And I really don't think there's Enchi. So I think it's just a plain dreamsicle, a beautiful double recessive baby. I just couldn't necessarily definitively say if there was another gene in here. If there was another gene in here, I might say it's leopard, but I really don't think so. I think this is just a lavender albino pied. Very, very beautiful looking baby. It doesn't have any of those yellow belly dripping or anything like that, or those pixelations. And it doesn't really have any of the leopard patterning, and it doesn't have that typical Enchi head stamp that I would be looking for, or that Enchi leopard head stamp that I would be looking for. So I do believe that this is just a lavender pied, but a very, very pretty one at that. And he or she is sporting a very cute, kind of grumpy looking pumpkin emoji on the side. So very cool little guy or girl here. I'm going to sex it right now to figure out what it is. So this a funky little emoji lavender albino pied is indeed a female. Moving on to our last baby and our last pied in this clutch. This was the eyeless baby. And at first, when I saw her in the egg, I was like, does that snake really not have any eyes? I've never produced a hatchling with no eyes. I've never actually seen a no eye ball python in person. So hatching one was quite shocking, if I might say, because I was quite alarmed and a little nervous for if there was anything else wrong with this baby. And she is eating and she is acting completely normal. So I have no concerns about her health wise. Obviously, this is not a baby that I would sell for any breeding projects or anything like that. This would be a strictly pet owner only animal, but its very unique personality I find very interesting. So usually, as we all know with hatchlings, they tend to be a little bit more fearful or a little bit just unsure of their surroundings. The fact that she has no eyes, she doesn't seem to fear anything. She doesn't have that normal like recoil or anything like that that babies do. She's been very calm, very social, and just a pleasure to have. And honestly, I kind of fell in love with her a little bit because of that awesome personality, and I have nicknamed her Echo. So I wanted to show her off too because not all clutches that you have are going to go as you would like them to go. Sometimes you can have deformities or abnormalities that happen that could be affecting their life, and they may not be conducive for life based on how those deformities go. But this animal, though it does not have eyes, though it should not ever be bred, is so far completely healthy otherwise and doing fantastic. But her genetics, I believe, obviously are pied, but I do believe that she is a leopard Enchi pied het lavender albino. And she is indeed a female. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I want to know what you guys feel about the snake that we call Echo because she is quite unique and she's kind of cute and I kind of like her, but not everybody may feel the same way, and I want to know what your opinion is. Also, in the comments, I want to know if you guys have ever produced lavender albino pied, dreamsicle pieds, anything with lavender albino where you have a little bit of difficulty IDing the genes. Because for us, this was our second clutch ever for dreamsicle stuff, and it was a bit difficult. So I want to know if anyone else has struggled. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.